Yo, what's going on, sports family, man? We back in the building again with another episode of Micah&Friends podcast, man. Today we got the usual suspects in the building, man. We got the family in the building. We got Dale checking in. We got Jay Cott checking in. We got Fredo checking in. We got Nate checking in, man.
What
We
up?
all up over the globe in here, man. Bro, for real. But let me real quick just pay the bills, man. Small businesses, big businesses. If you want to take your business to the next level, make sure you reach out to the Grind magazine, man. They could build a marketing campaign for your company from the ground up, and they could put you in front of the culture the right way you need to be, man. And also, shout out to TOV Sports, man. This whole production is being brought to you by TOV Sports. Make sure you go over there on IG and check them out. Show them some love over there. But no, let's get it going, man. Like I said, we got the family in the building, and I want to get it started off first by speaking on the recent spike in the corona cases for NBA players and just the corona cases around the country. And I want to get you all's thoughts on, do you think the NBA season should still resume? Is it safe to resume? And what are the effects of all that's going to come down from all these players getting infected with the COVID-19? I'm going to start it off with Dale.
Bro, so with this spike, man, it would make sense if they kind of did cancel the season because there's so many cases. But then again, like I said before, if they catch these cases early and catch the people early, they could just weed them out, send them home, put them in a bubble, do whatever they do. They don't do that where everybody else play. But at the same time, a lot of people do think this season is a distraction. So you got people like, hey, man, this is a blessing in disguise that all this COVID stuff is happening because we really need to be focusing on is Black Lives Matter and changing the whole fucking systematic oppression system that we have. So then on the COVID cases worldwide, it's more like I really felt like they just calling anything a COVID death. Like you feel me? In the beginning, if you're looking at the numbers, again, like the swine flu was way more dangerous than the COVID-19. Like way more people had died from the swine flu than the COVID shit. So really, I really feel like the government's trying to use this shit as a fear tactic. Not that it's not real, but it's just not as deep as to kind of make it seem. But as far as the NBA, they probably gonna resume this for the money, but they probably shouldn't though, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. What's your thoughts on that, Fredo?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Dale. It might be a little bit of a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I feel like the NBA should just wait for next season because if they finna start back up in December anyway, why even finish out? Why are they trying to stress this so bad to get back to play? You ain't got no fans coming in. Y'all just gonna be in there in a quiet gym in a camera. So,
Yeah,
I feel like you could just wait.
Yeah.
facts. I feel you, Nate. What's your thoughts on that, man?
I feel like this, if you look at the way that they've structured the dates and stuff, I feel like it was inevitable for some players to test positive because they started testing all their players massively so they could know who was positive. And then they're going to bring the players to Orlando, I believe, July 11th or something like that. So
I think it was 7th.
Yeah, something like that. But it was inevitable for some players to test positive early on. And it's good that they tested early on. So the players that do want to come to the bubble, go to the bubble healthy, So I don't think it's too much of a hindrance as long as, for example, like Jokic, he tested positive. As long as he quarantines for these next week and a half, 2 weeks, he'll be okay to travel down to Orlando. With the whole spike in cases for everybody else, we talked about this last week, I think that, if players do go down to Orlando, I mean, that's pretty much the safest place they could go because it's going to be such a secure bubble. You got to think, bro, these dudes are going to gyms and playing pickup ball right now with dudes that they probably have no clue where they at. You feel me? No clue.
Telling you.
So, I think it's probably going to be the safer environment. I like what they've been talking about with their initiatives, using this season to fight social injustice. So I'm assuming they got a plan to raise awareness, they already raising money and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think it still should resume as long as when people get down to Orlando, they're not catching it. So if you go down to Orlando and you retest and then more players are having it, then, I think at that point you got to send people home just for their safety. But right now, it hasn't been that many players testing positive considering how many players are going down there. And at first we were talking about should players come back and who wants to. There's only been 2 people that opted out of this season. And most of it's been because of injury or family. You feel me? There was a big coalition talking about maybe we shouldn't play for the season or have our own league. Malcolm Brogdon was one of those proponents, but he's not one of the guys that opted out. He said he's gonna join his team in Orlando when he's healthy. So I think that the guys
He another guy that tested positive
exactly.
for COVID too. He like that just came out yesterday.
But he said he's still going. You know, he feel healthy. He feel good. Like if they're asymptomatic, then that's the best case scenario, obviously. But if they're healthy enough to go down, I say go get the bag, use that bag, and secure your like futures for the next few seasons. Because if they don't play, I mean, those million like they just signed people like Malcolm Brogdon. You got to think he just left the Bucks making $30 million a year. So he thought you don't play this year, that might go back down to 10. I don't think people really willing to give up 15, $20 million, you know what I'm saying, to not play 8+ games.
I feel you. I feel that. Kyle, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree with everything you said, but I mean, I feel like it is crucial and it is critical at this point in time for the league to get back. I heard that if they don't play any games this season, they can lose up to $2 billion in revenue. So I feel like even getting back, you know what I'm saying, with this tournament style form, it's better than $2 billion in losses. You know what I mean? With that broadcast media rights money. As far as the corona goes, I mean, I do feel as though it's a dangerous disease as far as how viral it is. But I mean, they say more people who have it are asymptomatic than not. You know what I mean?
Like, how would you know?
Right. And then on top of that, all these guys, these NBA players. I mean, I know Avery Bradley, for instance, he was saying he didn't want to play because his son has respiratory problems. Okay, that's totally understandable. But I mean, every other guy who I know, athlete in general, has been asymptomatic, never really got sick. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's not too big of a fear between NBA players of catching it. Because I don't think the effects could be too detrimental. But I mean, I think that it should still be a go. They shouldn't be hindered by the couple players who caught it. Like Nate said, it's inevitable. I mean, I feel like they had to prepare for guys catching it down there. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
Yeah,
player could catch it while they're playing in the tournament. You gotta sit out. I mean, that's just the reality right now. So I feel like they shouldn't let the few cases of guys who caught it before the tournament starts shouldn't hold them back. And I think it should still be a go and see what happens from there.
Yeah, like with my thoughts on it, I feel like it's important. You feel me? It's a big deal that a lot of these players are now getting tested, and a lot of them do have the coronavirus. So what I say is they just need to take the proper precautions. Like, okay, it's the 25th today, and if they're supposed to be there on the 7th, they're a little bit more than 14 days out. So these guys that do have it, they need to self-quarantine themselves, just like how the protocol was before when people was catching it in the early stages. You need to self-quarantine yourself. And I feel like if these guys still have that, that the coronavirus, before it's time to, like, at the time when it's time, July 7th, when it's time to go out there, it's over. I mean, if you just stay at the crib, bro. And if it gets to the point where it's too many players, I feel like, you're going to have to call the season off, because as an organization, you got to put the message out there to what you're really trying to do. And like the players are their assets. You feel me? So if you're not giving a fuck about your assets and what they doing in their health and well-being, then you lost in the sauce for real. So I definitely feel like they should do continuous testing and just monitor everything, bro. Like it's hard to really see where players got it from, and it's just good that they're testing them right now so they can see, okay, these guys have it. We're gonna test them again when it gets closer to the date. If they have it on July 7th, then fuck it, stay at home. You feel me? Like it ain't no big deal.
I think a big part of responsibility has to go on the organizations too. Like, if you want your players to stay in shape, like, you need to be very proactive. Like, whether they're in their home city or whether they're in the city that they actually play for, they need to be making arrangements for them to get in gyms that are safe spaces. You know what I'm saying? Like, no BS in the gym, or like very trusted like staff members or trainers, as opposed to like, I remember a lot of the facilities were closed. Like, these are billion-dollar entities. Like, if they want to get a gym open for one or two players, they should be able to do that, just so their players don't feel the need to go out and go to these runs or, working out and, going. Like, the protests are different. That's going outside for a cause. You feel me? Those are large crowds for a cause. Like, I've been to a few protests. throughout this whole coronavirus thing. And at the end of the day, bro, like, you know, if I get it, I get it. I was out there fighting for what I think is right. However, you feel me? Niggas out there going, you know, the bars, Ezekiel Elliott, you feel me, down in Texas, turned up. Like, you know, it's a little bit of the organization's responsibility to keep their players, you know, like, bro, this is millions of dollars for you. You feel me? You want to be healthy to go grad at. So,
But yeah,
you know, they need
I want them to not only be about the money though, but still be about the cost that's happening right now. Because again, I know a lot of people don't want the season starting back up because we don't want people to get away from what we're actually doing on the country on the other side, like in real life.
Yeah.
Like the movement.
The crazy thing is though, people are already starting to move away from that.
Yeah, I keep trying to tell people like, nigga, the Black Lives Matter shit, like this is not a movement, bro. This is something serious. This is like, again, this is 400 years of oppression that's been fucking going on. So if they can bring the system back, people make their money, and we put that into the communities, and we still highlight the issue that's going on to make real change. Because the NBA is very proactive. They always
they progressive.
Yeah, like they speak up about like a lot of issues and shit that be going on. So like, I ain't mad at them because they've been doing their thing for years. But at the same time, I don't want them taking like away from everything else that's going on because we really got a real goal and real shit that we need to handle first as a country. We need to really abolish all this bullshit.
Like I feel like COVID fall second. You feel me behind that right now? Like if that's it, like if they can figure the COVID issue out, then all right. Then it's still the Black Lives Matter issue that's in the forefront. And there's ways you could go about it, like we spoke on last week. Like I'm not against the guys sitting out, and I'm not against the guys that want to play because I feel like two things can be true. You can play in protest, and I should say you can play and protest successfully, and you can sit out and stand for something. I feel that. You feel me? Like it. I feel like that'd be successful as well. But
it's just crazy though. The players I was talking about sitting out, none of them decided to opt out. Yeah. I mean, well, Kyrie wasn't playing already, you feel me? But all the people that I was talking about, like, they wasn't going to play or, you know, they don't know if they should do it. Like Lou Will was saying he 50-50. The deadline passed yesterday. He didn't opt out. Dwight didn't opt out. You feel me? Like, Kyrie was already injured, opted out.
Yeah. Kyrie, hold on. What you had to say, Fredo?
Injury purposes.
Yeah, Kyrie injured, so he's not even going to get invited regardless. So it's like, you know, he was kind of saying that.
Do the players get, like, fined if they opt out like next week, do they get fined? Like, what's the penalty?
I don't think they'll get fined, but I think they'll lose some revenue. I think they will lose some revenue because like they already put like a date in for teams to have like this period where they can negotiate with free agents. So that's why they did the whole opt out thing. So you feel like, for example, Avery Bradley opt out, it gives your team or organization a chance to find a replacement player. So you feel me? You kind of should get penalized for it unless it's because of COVID or something like that. Just because it's like, dang, you didn't give your organization a chance to make a different type of move, which is kind of hindering, like, you know.
Sport family, y'all boys. I'm gonna have to head out real quick, man. Gotta hop in this little LSAT little class, man. I love y'all,
bro. Yeah, man.
I'm gonna get up with you after this.
Shoot, chilling, bro. I'm gonna be chilling.
Easy. Hey, I'm gonna get up with you after this, then.
All right, man. Y'all be faithful. All right, sport family.
Yeah.
Bro. All right, bro.
But yeah, though, just to respond to what you said, Nate, about you said about. What'd you say?
I was talking about the replacement players.
Yeah. So just to respond to that, like, you got that. I think the window is till the 30th, for them to pick up free agents. But to the point you were making before that about how guys didn't choose to opt out. It was like you said, it was only a couple guys that really opted out, and that was Avery Bradley, and that was for a family reason. And Trevor Ariza, that was because he's in a child support.
Yeah, like he's spending time with his kid, which I respect. You feel me? Like those are very valiant reasons to sit out.
Yeah, like I'm not about to sit here with not 30, but probably like 90 niggas in hoop for 2 months. When you feel me? When I can have my child this month, you don't feel me? I hardly see my child, so that's I feel him on that.
He also a seasoned vet. So
he got his bread already.
And he don't got a few chips. You know what I'm saying?
You know, they good. They sitting on the bag already. So that pressure.
Yeah, for sure. And just to add on more to that, I feel like those guys, I feel like the reason why a lot of them didn't opt out is because they see a lot of the big guys not opting out. Like, and that's one thing I felt about Pat Bev. People thought that was a shot at LeBron. and he was just being honest. He was, hey man, if LeBron going, we all going, bro. Because why would I not go and LeBron fuck around and get a championship ring just on, you feel me, off super easy when I could compete with this nigga? Like, bro, no. If he playing, I'm about to play, nigga. Like,
I like what Kyrie and Brogdon and that group did. Like, I think they said some really good things and some good points. Like, for example, like having our own league down the line, like we talked about last week. Like, that's a very valuable idea down the line.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not finished this season. Like, I just wouldn't. You just got to look at the opportunity cost, bro. You feel me? Like, why would I give up $2 billion or like $1.2 billion of revenue that I could use for that league down the line? Like, for example, if they wanted to bring together a coalition of those players to pool their money together and start their own league, that's perfect. However, just with the whole commotion of what's going on, it's best to go with something that already has the structure and bleed as much out of it that you can.
Yeah.
So like, if this was the last year of the NBA, just get the last bit out of it that you can, like squeeze it dry. You feel me? And then do your own thing.
Yeah,
I feel like this is the first generation or crop of players that have made the capital to actually consider investing in their own league one day. You know what I mean? Like, dudes in the 90s wasn't making $150 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? So these guys can, you know what I'm saying, play out the rest of their career. Then when they OGs 40, 50 years old, then they can have these serious investors into that. But I definitely think down the road type of thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah, no doubt. Any more thoughts on this topic before we move forward? Let's push it forward, man. We spoke on briefly about Avery Bradley sitting out, and what effect would that have on the Lakers playoff run, and who do you all think should fill in his role for the Lakers? Do you think they should pick up a free agent, because as of now they haven't? Or do you think they should just remain the same and just go out there with the players that they have? Because they're down Boogie too. Well, they got rid of Boogie, but I think they only have like 13 slots, and you could have 15. So I'm gonna start it off with Fredo, man. What do you think they should do?
Who are the options right now they could pick up? Like, who's out there on the market?
JR.
I seen that name offer.
Swag.
I'd go with JR too, but go ahead, Fredo.
It got to be, out of the names out there, it got to be JR. But I feel them if they stay and don't pick up anybody, because they just got that other guard too. They just got Deion Waiters, and he ain't play. So really, like, that's just his minutes right there. So they really don't need nobody else. But if they did get somebody, I say go with JR, another shooter. Might need some shooting in the playoffs. So yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, Cot?
I personally think losing Avery Bradley could. I mean, it could be hurtful for the Lakers, but I don't think it's detrimental to the point where it could stop me from winning a ring. You know what I mean? I feel like they still got the firepower to do so without Avery Bradley. As far as picking up a free agent, I don't know. He made a good point by saying they did pick up Deion Waiters. So I don't know whether you want Deion Waiters and J.R. Smith on the same team. If I'm that GM,
that Henny and Kush pack.
Right. I need one or the other. You know what I mean? They're like in the same lane. Much respect to both of them dudes, but I feel like they're in the same lane. So I'm not sure the other free agents on that list. I would probably go for somebody who's more of an Avery Bradley type of player. You know what I'm saying? A glue guy, somebody who's going to hustle, defend.
So defense,
right?
A low maintenance type of player, man. You know, just somebody that doesn't require a lot of attention. You know,
and show grit. You know what I mean? I'm not sure who that player is right now. I don't know the current free agents, but it wouldn't be J.R. Smith if I was personally the GM of the Lakers.
Yeah. Nate, what's your thoughts on that? Who do you think the Lakers should get, or should they not get somebody?
Well, first, I think that losing Avery Bradley can, I'm not going to say be super detrimental, like Kai said, like hinder them from winning a championship, but it will make it a lot harder because he's their best perimeter defender, like by a long shot, you feel me? And like their past few games, like he was really starting to come into his own, like, you know, defending the best wing player, or like he had like a few games with like 15 to 17 points, you know, some nice mid-ranges, nice three-pointers. So I'm not going to sit here and say like he's a superstar, but, you know, he was a pretty pivotal point for their team. If I'm the Lakers, I would start KCP because he has also started coming along. You feel me? I'm not starting Rondo because you need somebody to lead your second unit. You feel me? You don't have somebody to lead it. So I would probably keep him on the bench. But, oh, man, if I were them, I'd probably try to look, like they said, I don't know who's out there on the market. Maybe scavenge the D-League the G League or something like that. Maybe get you like a nice wing defender, somebody that can just make shots, but you don't need them to dribble the ball. Like, J.R. Smith, he's a solid player, but like they said, it's pretty repetitive. Like some of the same episodes that have happened with Dion Waiters, I feel like they literally have reincarnated themselves in J.R. Smith. So it's like, I don't really know if that's the best move. But I think if they stayed pat and maybe brought up that dude, Taleem Horton-Tucker from their G League squad, I like it a lot.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Taylor, man.
I feel like Caruso could step up too.
Facts.
Yeah. So I don't think that Avery Bradley could be too. I think they'll be fine with that.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. It will hinder them a little bit just with their depth. You feel me? Guarding wings, because AC, he's not a great defender, but he's serviceable. You feel me? And he play hard. That's what you ask for whoever is going to replace Avery.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, this would be the perfect time, but they let him go. This would be the perfect time if they had Zach Norville, like you said, Taylor. But if they had Zach,
right?
Yeah,
he from Chicago though. Like, bro, he's always been the bucket, bro. Like, even what he did in the summer league, bro, like he was breaking niggas down. Like, I don't know why
when we played Gonzaga.
Word,
yeah, he was on that team. He gave us about 25.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he'll walk and dub piece. You feel me? And he's one of them guys like he not afraid of the moment. He would have been able to play with LeBron or what I'm saying, and AD and not get afraid of the moment. And he's a good defender. Like, he just ain't no scrub out there. But for me, who I don't know, bro. Like, JR, it's like what are we trying to do? And I felt like the guys who were kind of like saying, well, pick me up. It's like, dude, like, you just trying to tag along and try to rekindle an old flame like Mike Miller. Like, bro, I haven't seen Mike Miller hooping so long, bro. Like, I don't.
Well, it's a reason they're out the league. You feel me? Whether it's age or performance. So it's like, why bring you back for this type of high pressure scenario? The only argument that they can have is they're veterans and they have the experience. So like, you don't want to necessarily throw somebody like a Taleem Horton-Tucker or Zach Norvell in there. Because it's like, damn, like at the end of the day, this is NBA playoff basketball. And like, having that experience is invaluable. However, I'm for sure not trusting Nick Young. Like, he had playoff experience, but as a bench guy for the Warriors, that's cool. But, no offense to Nick Young, I just don't. Him and Dion Waiter, to me, Dion, and J.R. Smith, to me, they're all like in the same group of player in person. Like, you don't know what they're going to do, bro. They're liable to do anything.
Too many similarities, bro. That's why I say, like, I wouldn't really budge with the market right now and see who's out there. Like, I feel like they'd just be better off going with what they got.
Or get the market back.
I don't know.
Fill that void though.
You said what?
I feel like DeMarcus doesn't fill the Avery Bradley void.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Just more depth, some more big depth, just in case like JaVale went down or something like that. But nah, he definitely doesn't fill the Avery Bradley void. He can shoot a little bit, but he definitely ain't that though.
I don't know, bro. It's gonna be an interesting playoff because within these next couple weeks, we're gonna find out a lot, like whether they even mess around and cancel the season or not, or they keep going with it, and what they're going to do about the protest. Like, it's going to be a lot we find out in the next 2 weeks. But if I'm a team that's already established as the 1 seed, I'm not about to just go pick and choose in the market and see what I can get when I already got this core group over here that's been working with each other since the last summer. You feel me? So I would rather, like you said, I'd rather put KCP in there or give Caruso starter minutes or something like that. Like, they could move around the roster pieces. They just got to be strategic about it. But any more thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just thought about that last game of the season before the Corona hit. Avery was going off that game. Like, he had
like a dub piece, I think.
Yeah. He had a dub against the Clippers. Like, he's a better Patrick Beverly. He just don't run his mouth. You feel me? Like, he's better than Patrick Beverly at pretty much everything he do, bro.
Yeah, he
just don't
Pat Bev too.
Yeah, on me, like, you feel me? He can shoot better than Pat Bev. He's more reliable of a scorer. Like, when he was with the Celtics, he was doing some very impressive things. You feel me? Like, and he to me, like Pat Bev, he talks a lot and it helps his game. But like for the Clippers, I don't think it helps their game because Kawhi's not wired like that. Like he be low key over some of the antics. You feel me? Like Avery's kind of wired more like he is, like a quiet assassin.
A lot, you need that though. DC, what up? A lot, you need that though.
Yeah, you do some for sure.
But you need them type of guys in the building though. Just like
Draymond,
like Clay, yeah, like Clay and Steph ain't those type of guys. You need those type of agitators. So I feel like Beverly fits in well with, you know what I'm saying, with Kawhi. And I feel like Beverly's smart enough to know, like, all right, it's certain people I could, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, though, bro. Like, I done seen him do that to Harden and Russ. They literally came back and dropped 40 on him. You feel me? Like,
you gotta pull their cards. I'm talking about just on the team wise. I'm talking about like with dealing with Kawhi and stuff like that. Like, I don't feel like he ever just step out of his zone and
no, he's not a bad teammate.
Yeah,
I don't see him bad.
Like, nigga, who the fuck you fan, nigga? Like, no, I don't think he one of them type of guys. But no, Freddie, you had something else, or?
No, I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, but no, just to keep going on to the next topic, man. Recently, LeVar Ball came out and said on the podcast, like, man, I do not want LaMelo to be out there playing in Golden State with Clay and Curry because they already got those two guys, and they just want to use him as the assist piece to that. So I want to get you all's thoughts on that. I'm gonna start it off with Cop, man. What's your thoughts on that? You think LeVar has a point, or should he just like, man, be quiet?
I think I would have thought LeVar learned his lesson the way he did with Lonzo. You know what I mean? It never works well in his favor, and it's not gonna work well in his favor this time either. I think he should be appreciative if LaMelo got drafted by the Warriors. That's a great system.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They share the ball. He's gonna learn from the two of the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Why not play with Steph Curry?
Right. Like, who doesn't want to play with Steph Curry, bro?
Like, I don't understand. I mean, on the other hand, I can sort of kind of see his point. Maybe as far as like, you can build your own legacy dynasty if you start somewhere else, but it doesn't. If you go somewhere else to a worse team, it doesn't guarantee you success either because you're so-called by. I mean, I'm not gonna say quote unquote by yourself, but not in that. You know what I'm saying? Story franchise. You know what I'm saying? Reputation built system that they have out in Golden State. So I disagree with the point. I feel like it would be exciting, man. Throw another 6'7", 6'8" shooter out there. You know what I'm saying? Big guard. I feel like it could be a good mix, but.
Fredo, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think Melo would be a good piece out there in Golden State, or do you think LeVar has a point with him saying that?
I can see both sides to it. Definitely, like, you want to come in, you want to have your own team, but I just feel like with Melo, like, he's a scorer, he don't play defense. So put him on his own team, like, they just don't throw double teams at him all day. They can't do that in Golden State. Like, you can't double off Curry or double off Clay. So, like, the court's going to be, like, wide open for him. Like, the whole game, he can do whatever he wants. So I'm like, why wouldn't you want that your first year, just be in the league and do, like, literally do whatever you want on offense because they can't guard you? Yeah, I think Golden State should pick him up all the time.
Yeah. Nate, what's your thoughts on that, man? You think Golden State should pick him up, or do you think LeVar got a point?
Well, I mean, it's not that I don't think Golden State should pick him up, but I do think there's a better option for them. I think James Wiseman is a better option for them because, like, he's a freakish athletic big. He may not be able to shoot, but he can anchor their defense. But like Kai said, man, like, you would think LeVar learned at this point, you know, like, everything he says, it has adverse consequences on his kids. You feel me? Like, whenever I have kids, bro, I don't want to put no messages out there that have some consequences on my kids, bro. Like, that just don't make sense. You feel me? That's working backwards. Yeah. Like, I can see what he's saying because, for example, if he goes to the Knicks, that's amazing for his brand because automatically he gets to the Knicks, it's him and RJ Barrett. You feel me? Like, he's the guy, you know, like, so for his brand, what he wants to do, a big baller brand, then I think that is a great move, like going to the Knicks, New York with a Big Apple. However, who wants to play for the New York Knicks, bro? You know what I'm saying? With their current ownership and everything always up in the air, like, that's not a winning situation, especially for somebody who's under 21 years old. Like, LaMelo, if he goes somewhere with structure, if he goes to Golden State, that might be the first time in his life that he's ever played, like, in a structural place. You feel me? Like, when he was at Chino Hills, things were always turning around. Like, Lonzo was older than him, so he left, you know. Like, he had a group that was older than him, so things were always changing. He went to, you know, he didn't even have a real last year as a senior. He went overseas. Like, you know, like, if I'm Melo, getting drafted to the Warriors is best case scenario. Like Fredo said, the court is wide open for a facilitator. He's 6'7", 6'8". He can rack up probably 10. With his passing ability, bro, I wouldn't be surprised as a rookie if he averaged close to 10 assists playing with Steph and Klay Thompson. You feel me? Like, I don't think that's too far fetched for somebody with his like skill. You feel me? Yeah. And playing with the best shooters like ever. So it's like shit. You go to a team like that, you automatically in the playoff race next year. Yeah. You go to the Knicks, you may be bad for a long time. You go to the Cavs, shit, they already got 2 other point guards. You go to Detroit, like, is that a big enough market for LeVar's like wishes? I guess. Like, you go to Atlanta, it's Trey's team. So anywhere else you go, what else? What does he really want out of that situation? But if you go to Golden State, bro, you could be in the running for a ring in the next 2 years.
Right.
Man, I felt like LeVar got a point, man. Like, and it's just the way he think of his sons, which can, like you all said, it can be detrimental to him. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, especially to their success. Like, it's a lot of pressure you put on Lonzo. But I feel like, you know, and it's I don't feel like he putting as much, you know what I'm saying, as the amount of pressure you put on Lonzo as he is on LaMelo. But it's just certain things, and I understand it. Like, you don't want him to be like, all right, he the new guy. Like, once these guys get older, this gonna be his team. And I feel like he want him to be the man up front. And I feel that, but like you all said, it's also a flip side to that. Being the man up front already, you feel me? And it's not a lot of guys that could do that, kind of like how Ja Morant is. There's not a lot of guys who, especially rookies, who you could put in his role for what he did this far and get the same results. It's
very few.
Yeah, it's very slim, bro, especially to be the leader of the team. And LaMelo don't really strike me as that type of guy. He one of them guys who he cool to play with, you know what I'm saying? He a cool locker room guy. But he just don't strike me as just, all right, I'm the leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna lead my team to the, like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that from him. So I feel like LeVar do got a point, but I feel like he just got to understand who his son is as a person and as a player. I don't think he's a leader, and I don't think he'll be ready to be the leader of a new team just off rip. And I feel like that'll just be throwing him in the fire, kind of like how he did with Lonzo, but in a different way.
I think his best point is more so business than it is for his son. You know, like him going to a team. I'm gonna just keep using the Knicks because I really think that's probably where he wants him to go, just based off the sole fact that's the other biggest market besides LA. They have their own brand.
And Chicago. Chicago got like the top 5 biggest brand in the league for real. Right. And it's always gonna be that way just because of Jordan. You know what I'm saying? But
so like it's like you go to either of those 2 teams, like, yeah, you're the man and like you bring that new excitement. However, like for development, when it comes to young guys, like it's invaluable to play with like great players. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like realistically, it really is. Like you know, like Kobe when he came in playing with some really, really good players. You know, Nick Van Exel, you got Shaquille O'Neal, you got Robert Horry, you feel me? You got great coaching too. Like somebody like Melo. I'm sure Melo would have wanted to get drafted to the Pistons as opposed to the Nuggets. You know, like, yeah, he was the guy with the Nuggets. However, he could have went to the Pistons with an already set structure, and they could have built from there. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think coming into the league, like playing with veterans, like it really can make or break your career. Like depending on how you get out. Like Devin Booker, would he rather be in Phoenix or would he have rather gotten drafted to Boston or something? You know, so it's like shit. I'd rather play in an organization with structure. Like even OKC, like. They have great structure. Like they may not have superstars, but they're always going to put some pieces around you. I can't say the same for the Knicks. You could be there for your first 7 years of your career playing bullshit. Like, is that what you want to do, or do you want to?
You could be there for your whole career and nothing happened.
You never.
But yeah, and also just to add on, just like y'all was saying, man, I feel like that'd be a good just a good team out there if he would go to Golden State, because you got Curry, you got Klay. These are 2 guys that don't need the ball in their hand a lot. Then, if you even want to get more lethal with it, Draymond could really push the point for real. And you telling me you gonna have 3 shooters just sitting out there? Like, come on, bro. Like, it's too many places to go with the ball, bro. And it gets super deadly. Like, it'll get to the point LaMelo could average a dub if he wanted to. If you know what I'm saying, if he went out to Golden State. But they, of course, they need a solid 5 to put out there. But I think that'd be a good look for him out there, man. Is there any more thoughts on this on this topic right here?
I feel like just to help LeVar's case a little bit, as far as I feel like it could be more beneficial to him if he goes to another organization as far as revenue wise. You know what I mean? The Golden State ownership has already said that Steph, Clay, they are the cornerstones of our organization. They're probably always going to pay them top notch dollar. And I mean that money could be better somewhere else. I mean, of course, you got to play out your rookie deal 1st. So, but I feel like maybe. But I mean, it's not to say that even if he did go to Golden State, he could pick up a a max deal from another team, and after this rookie deal is up too. So, I mean, I feel like I personally do feel like that. It could be a fit.
But. And also, just to like you said, just to help LeVar's case out, man. Like, I don't think LeVar is just intentionally, you feel me, trying to put immense amount of pressure on his son. But I feel like he, you know what I'm saying, he's thinking with a business mind, and I never fought him for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, if my son was in a different team and he was the leader of that team instead of being in Golden State where you got Curry off rip, he doing $200 million in shoes. You got Clay, he's getting $230 million, you feel me, from his contract, and even Draymond making $100-some million. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to have a voice on that team and hard to really be marketable. You know what I'm saying? Should I say? So I definitely get him on that, and I definitely understand what he's saying. But I don't know. I feel like you got to be able to know where you could put business, where you can mix business and basketball play. You know what I'm saying? When business starts affecting your play, it's not gonna matter what you do business wise, because your sales gonna go down, because ain't nobody gonna like, oh shit, I want them the Melo shoes. Not if you averaging 2 points and, you feel me, 3 assists, nigga. Like, don't nobody want these shit.
I agree with everything y'all just said, because it's true about the revenue split. You know, like if he goes to another team, his brand could possibly go up, or he could be a guy that they focus on for that max contract. But also, the adverse could be he's the man too early. He doesn't look good like Lonzo. You know what I'm saying? Lonzo didn't look great early on, not for number 2 pick status, you know? And he was in a huge market, and it didn't work to his advantage. So it's like he could go to a big market early on, and he could also not play well. And then at that point, it's like, who's going to buy your shoes then? Like, where's the smaller brand if he's not good?
Hey, ask damn, what's the Lakers GM? I'm forgetting his name. Skinny Food. Yeah, ask Rob Pelinka who he'll draft at the at second round right now. Shit, ask Philadelphia who they'll take first. I bet it'd be Jason Tatum, no question.
That's what I was saying.
Tatum would be the number 1 pick in that draft.
Would be over Lonzo and folks right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And Mitchell would be up there too.
And Adebayo will be above both of them.
Yeah, like, nigga, all right, let these teams redo this draft. I'm telling you, like, like Lonzo will probably go 20th, probably
either late lottery or late.
Yeah.
What about Kuz? Where Kuz going?
He'd probably go closer to
the go higher than Lonzo.
He could.
Yeah.
But I think y'all right, man. Like, you know, LeVar, he has good intentions sometimes. I just think he needs to choose his platforms better. Like, if you don't want your son to go to the Warriors, they're going to come to you as the GM. So, you feel me? If that's a conversation you want to have with a general manager, then have that conversation. But you got to stop letting stuff leak to the media, man. Yeah, exactly. It's not a good look.
Yeah. And it's just like, you know, with him, I feel like he one of them guys, and I know guys like that they just can't hold they breath or nothing like that. They gotta say, you know what I'm saying, gotta say what's going on in their mind. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if that was my father and I'm in this position as, you know what I'm saying, as LaMelo, and like with Lonzo, like I would have had to tell, hey bro, shut the fuck up, bro. Because you are
Lonzo left big baller brand.
Yeah, like bro, you costing me some cheese. Like I know you pops, you feel me? I fuck with you, I love you, you feel me? But hey, once you start affecting my money, bro, please shut the fuck up. Like please shut up. But no, though, any more thoughts on that?
Stop talking about it. That's it.
Fact though. But just to move on to a sadder moment, man. Today it became official, bro. Vince Sanity done hung it up, bro. He done retired on this, man. Vince Carter, I think he's like 42 or 43 or something like that.
2 years in the league,
bro. This nigga played in the 90s, the 2010s and I mean 2000 in the 2010s. This nigga played for 3 decades, bro.
Four, because he made it to 2020. He played.
Yeah, the nigga cold. He did play in 2020. Oh my lord. Yeah. So man, what's y'all thoughts on just Vince Carter just finally hanging it up? And I want to know what's y'all favorite Vince Carter moment, bro. I'm gonna start it off with Nate.
Man, it's a sad day, but it's a little it's due. It was due time. Like I did still enjoy sometimes. Like I would catch a Hawks game on League Pass, and I'd see Vince in there. He might hit a few threes, or he might get a little fast break dunk, and I was proud. I'm like, damn, bro, because we've been playing our entire lives, bro. Like we all 22, 23. He's been playing that entire time, bro. And at a pretty solid level for most of it. So, like, hats off to him for keeping his body healthy. Very rarely he missed games in his career. Like, Vince Carter, he earned my respect for that. But my favorite VC moment, we was too young anyway to really watch it, but the 2000s dunk contest, like, if you look back at that, a lot of those dunks that he did weren't done before, you feel me? But now they're a part of the standard bounce package, you feel me? Like the between the legs, like
my nigga said the standard bounce package.
Now you got bounce and you can't do it between the legs. It's like, what the hell? Or a windmill, you feel me? Like people look at you backwards, say, if a nigga got a 40-inch vertical and he can't do a windmill, you feel me? Or he can't do it between the legs, you're gonna be like, all right, bro, like what are you doing? Like, where's your bounce at?
Yeah.
So Vince Carter changed the game for that. And like I just love, you feel me? He finally got that 360 windmill off. And as soon as he touched the ground, he jumped back up like right again, like another 30 inches. And I'm like, damn, bro, that's some real freak athleticism. You feel me? To be able to go up and do that on your first dunk attempt, and then just as soon as you touch the ground, got the energy to jump up again. I'm like, feel me? Yeah. He legendary, man. That's the best in-game dunker of all time to me.
Man. Fredo, what's your thoughts on that, man? I know this gonna be good, man, because it's coming from Atlanta Hawks season ticket holder, bro. So what's your thoughts on, man, VC hanging it up, man, and how it's gonna feel next year when you walk into the Hawks arena and he not in there, man? Let me know what's going on.
Man, it's definitely gonna be different this next year, this upcoming season. But the last 2 years, I got a chance to really go see him a lot of times. So my favorite moment, I don't remember which game exactly, but he was going up for a dunk, and he's 41 right now. When he was going up for a dunk, somebody caught him in the air, and then he just hung in the air and switched it up and just laid it in there. I was just like, woo.
I know exactly what moment you're talking about.
I remember that play.
That day he was cold, but yeah, it was just fun watching him these last couple of years. He gave us a lot of excitement watching the Hawks, man. I'm kind of scared.
Yeah. Man, Kyle, what's your thoughts on that, man? What's your thoughts on VC hanging it up, and what's your favorite Vince Carter moment?
Man, Vince, he completely lived up to his name. Half man, half amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? I personally feel like he's the greatest dunker of all time. My personal opinion. My favorite VC moment is probably in the USA Olympic game when he jumped over the 7-footer. Yeah. Off the dribble.
Oh, Lord.
Man, I feel like that was his real coming out moment. I remember KG looked at him like he was like from another planet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Vince is definitely one of the greatest athletes to ever walk the earth, man. As far his longevity proved that 22 seasons, not too many guys can say they did that. You know what I mean? I definitely put him in that same mold as a LeBron, a Jordan, that same, you know what I'm saying, as far as freak athlete types. So
I never heard anything bad about him either.
Right. You know what I mean? Been a solid guy, never been too much in the media. You know what I mean? So Vince is definitely a legend, first ballot Hall of Famer, not book.
Yeah.
So, man, it's sad for me to see Vince go, man, just because he was one of them guys, man, no matter what, turning on the TV, you was going to get the bang for your buck, bro. Like he was just that. And one thing that it makes me a little happy like today is that he went out on his own merit, bro. He didn't go out because of major injury. And that's always like my biggest fear, you know what I'm saying, with these athletes that get older, like with Tom Brady now. I want them to go out in their glory, you feel me? Not on injury. And Vince was one of the most durable guys, bro. If you look back through his career, he never really had any like serious major injuries. Like he had a knee injury one time in like 2019, but it was minor. He had like kidney stones in like
He's already 40 at that
2007.
point, though.
Yeah, like, and it's like, bro, he didn't put so much miles on his legs, bro. It's like it's just amazing to watch Vince play. Sometimes, like I find myself going back to the old highlights because, like you said, bro, back then it was probably it was nobody doing what Vince was doing, and the second thing that was close to that was Jason Richardson. You feel me? And I was still a little bit after, you know what I'm saying, after Vince was really in there because Vince was in '99 going crazy. Like I think he averaged damn near a dub his rookie year. You know what I'm saying? Like
he averaged 25 his second year, bro.
yeah,
All-star his second year in the league.
yeah. Then the third year it was like 27. Like dude was like a problem, bro. And my favorite Vince Carter moment, it'll have to be, and this man, I'm sorry to the Wade fans, but I remember watching this game vividly. It was the New Jersey Nets against the Miami Heat. This nigga Vince Carter put 51 on D Wade, like like all game, bro. Put 51 on D Wade. D Wade had like 17, and this was in '05. Like this prime Wade, bro. Like this
Young
this
Wade,
ain't
though.
no
That's
Young Wade, it's young Wade, but it was
yeah,
Wade was one of those guys who was in his prime as soon as he stepped into the
early.
yeah.
It's kind of like how Vince was. Like Vince was already like prime time or in '98, '99. You feel me? So that was one moment that I just loved a lot because I remember watching that game with my brother that night. I'm like, man, this nigga is fooling. You feel me? But like y'all said, man, it's just good to see a player that was at the top of the game go out on his own merit, and he's one that's highly respected, man. You never could go around the league or just hear anything about, man, Vince was a bad guy or Vince ain't, you feel me? And I love the role that he assumed in his later years because he just assumed the OG role, like, man, just helping these young guys out, whether that was financially, you feel me, giving them pointers financially or building them up as players and just giving them pointers on how to be a leader in the locker room. And that's why I felt like the last like 3 to 4 years was very effective. You feel me? Because he was just one of them guys that you can always count on. He gonna be there for you. He gonna always be in the building. He gonna always dress up to play. He ain't gonna never bitch on. You feel me? Be bitching about nothing. He just gonna be smooth, bro.
Well, the NBA, they keep you on a roster if you ain't contributed nothing. So the fact that they've even like people have, I mean, he got picked up by the Hawks. What was it? A season ago? You feel me? You're not getting picked up at 40, 41 if you don't still have something to contribute. Because if not, they might ask you to come in the front office, or they might ask you to take on a coaching role. You feel me? Like even a dude like Dirk, like he got his last farewell tour from his same organization.
Yeah.
I mean, Carter ain't got no history with the Hawks besides the fact that he was still a productive player. He was a good locker room guy, and they had young dudes that needed leadership. You feel me? And stuff like that. Somebody like Trae Young, somebody like Kevin Huerter, your Cam Reddishes, like they'll always remember that for the rest of their lives.
John Collins, all them guys, because he one of them guys, and best believe Vince he'll probably still be living out here. You feel me? And still be contributing to the Hawks' success, man. One thing that people need to watch for, don't find it odd if you find Vince in one of these executive positions coming soon, because he's one of them guys that the owners and the execs already, nobody has a problem with Vince, bro. Like Vince is he a good dude, so I feel like it'll be easy for him to get one of these positions, especially for a good team. Even if he were to go, like I would like seeing him being in the Knicks front office, or even in Toronto front office, or Atlanta, because he played a role in so many play. Hell, even Memphis, bro. This nigga played everywhere, bro. Like damn, near Dallas, all types of shit. But yeah, bro. It's just, man, it's sad, like I say, to see a good player go like that, but it was time, bro. He was 43, man. It's time for him just to sit back, relax, man. He gave the game 22 years, 23 years, really.
Man,
so
enjoy the millions, Vince, but we gonna miss him, but man, I know he ain't gonna miss it too much. He gonna be enjoying that.
That nigga gonna wake up, get biofreeze on his knees every day. That nigga that nigga probably feel every day you wake up now like, damn.
He got the home trainer for sure, bro.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Massage, all that before he even step out the bed.
No doubt, man. But hell no, just to keep it moving, man. And this was something that happened recently. It was a noose found in Bubba Wallace's I guess his locker, like by his locker or something, where the cars are at.
His garage.
Yeah, in the garage for the Talladega event for NASCAR. And I want to get you all thoughts on that, on what's been going on with that. Excuse me. And the FBI recently saying that he wasn't a target for the hate crime, and the noose was there like previously since like 2019. I want to get you all thoughts on everything that unfolded from that situation. I'm gonna start it off with Nate.
Well, I mean, if there is video evidence like showing that no one deliberately put that in the locker that day or like that night, because I know the lockers the garages are pretty much given out at random. So, I mean, I guess I'm going to have to take it at face value. However, that doesn't change the response that I saw from NASCAR, which I feel like was extremely powerful. You feel me? Like whether the noose was put there or not, whether it was a garage or not or nothing like that. I love the fact that they didn't even question it. They literally, everybody in NASCAR, they rolled for their one black driver. You feel me? Like that was powerful. Whether it was intentionally placed or not, like I think they responded well. Like they said, they trusted whoever found it. They trusted their information. Like they didn't do no big investigation about it. They said what it was, like what they thought it was at the time, and everybody rallied around that. And I thought that was very powerful. Like, and the NFL could really learn from NASCAR. Like I never looked at NASCAR as a league or a league that would do something like that. You know, have all of, I don't even know if NASCAR organized that, but the fact that the players literally walked behind Bubba, helped him push his car, like all the racers, like that was something that was very like powerful to me, because the NFL, you know, you couldn't even get a majority black league to kneel with one of the black players. You feel me? So NASCAR, the fact that they saw something, you know, they already banned Confederate flags at their events. Like they're responding quickly to the changes around them, and I appreciate them for that. I'm not necessarily sure how I feel about the FBI coming out and saying it's not a noose, because I saw the picture of it. Looked pretty noose-like to me. I'm not a NASCAR driver. I don't know what usually is in a garage. I don't know what type of knots they use, so I can't really speak on it. But it looked like a noose to me, and I think that they responded the way that they were supposed to. So I was very happy to see that. You know, it was just powerful, man. Like you don't see stuff like that happen too often, especially in NASCAR.
Yeah, facts. Cott, what's your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, it's definitely a touchy situation. I feel like that. I personally don't feel like it's a coincidence that a noose or so-called something that looked like a noose,
You know,
only black drivers locker during the midst of everything that's going on in the country. I don't think it's a coincidence, man. Me personally, but as to piggyback on what Nate said, I do appreciate what NASCAR did. They definitely stepped up, and I feel like it was very pivotal that they stepped up and said what they did, because I mean, let's be real, majority of their fan base are white. It's a huge
shit, not even white, but shit, we're white Confederate. Like race type, let's make it clear. You feel me? But no, keep going.
In order to change the narrative, you have to touch those different demographics like that. Like, I mean, of course, everybody, you go to the NBA, a lot of black people watch. The NFL, a lot of black people watch. But the NASCAR, in particular, you got the NASCARs, the hockeys. Those are specifically white, you know what I'm saying, fan bases for the most part. So, now speaking out on the issue, those are things that I feel like really push the cause forward. And I really have much respect for Bubba Wallace. Just discovered who he was. But he has me as a fan for life now, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Only African American in NASCAR. That's big time. The fact that he's putting his reputation, his name out there like that, and standing on the bigger issue.
I got one point to say before I let Fredo go, real quick, because Scott said something that was good, man. Like he just pointed out the fact that like hockey and NASCAR, like we do look at those as white sports. You feel me? And you know, like we can preach our message all we want to like the young black kids, you know, which are watching basketball, which are watching football, but you know, it's more important to convert the people's hearts who don't think like us already. Like, what's the point of me preaching to somebody that already believes what I think? You feel me? Like, we have to get out there on the front lines of places that might be uncomfortable, like NASCAR. You feel me? Like, I saw Alvin Kamara go to a NASCAR race in support of Bubba Wallace. Like, we got to start making other races that uncomfortable. You feel me? And by doing public displays like that, like, that's how you start to convert. You know, we may not ever get the super, like, what you would consider a redneck or super Confederate older white men or women to convert, but we can convert their children to think differently. And, like, that's how you make change for the next generation. So that was the point.
Fact. Fredo, what's your thoughts on that, man?
Man, I just want to say I agree with both of you guys. Those were really good facts. I mean, he said it was a noose. I didn't see pictures of it, but people know how a noose look. Like, if he says a noose, then he's not just making that up.
Yeah.
In plenty of garages, he's seen plenty of those pull down things. So
well, he didn't even see it first. He wasn't even the first dude to see it. Somebody else from his camp reported it, so he didn't see it physically.
It was like the VP of like NASCAR or some shit. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, keep going though.
So with that, like, that aside, like, we already got that point. I think NASCAR did a great job, like, responding to it, just saying, like, there's no way, let's wait till the FBI, see what they say. They, like, first thing they did was, let's walk with this guy. We support him. Like, we're not racist. Like, I like that message being out there. And definitely, like, that's not our fan base. Like, we don't talk to any of those people out there. They probably never see black people other than Bubba Wallace. So for them to, like, for all of them to see that and see other white people pushing them forward like that, I think that's something to those white children who saw that. So,
Facts. And just to further speak on everything, man, I feel like it was one of them situations, like Cott said. I don't think it was just happened to be, it's been there since 2019. Like, bro, with the climate of everything that's going on right now, and what Bubba Wallace was speaking on, you feel me, a couple of days prior, you know what I'm saying, about that, and really pressing the issue on NASCAR removing the Confederate flag from all their races, you feel me? I don't think it was like just a major coincidence, but I mean, if you feel, if they say they got video evidence that has been there since 2019, hey man, sometimes stuff just happens to, you feel me, fall in divine order, you feel me, and that was right there. But I feel like you all said, the NASCAR, I gotta salute NASCAR because they have totally pivoted and 180 as a brand. You feel me, like with being in the front lines of, hey, like, all right, we removing this Confederate flag. Now we see what it, I wouldn't say that they, like, now they see what it represents, but they really could, all right, this is, with having a Confederate flag up, this is what this represents, and now this is who this is affecting, you feel me? So I definitely like them for definitely rebranding NASCAR and giving it another look, bro. And don't be surprised if you see a spike in the NASCAR numbers, and if you see more African American males starting to participate in NASCAR and stuff like that, and African American women. I'm not just gonna say males, you feel me? But I don't know. I definitely like what the NASCAR is doing, and I definitely don't think it was just a major just coincidence. Like, it's a noose in his by his locker, like, or by his garage. Like, hell no. Like, I don't believe that. So I definitely feel like the way that the NASCAR drivers handle it was definitely well, and we, it's just something to keep watching for, seeing how the NASCAR would just keep moving forward and keep pushing for inclusion in their sport. So that was one thing.
It's just crazy to me. Like, I never would have thought that I'd look at NASCAR as a more progressive league than the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And that says a lot more about the NFL than it does about NASCAR. Like, this one incident with NASCAR, like, ever since the George Floyd, since, like, things have really got set off by George Floyd's murder, like, like, the NFL, they ain't really done nothing. Honestly, they've released some statements, but, people have been talking about the NFL being a league that's, like, non-inclusive for their main athlete for years. NASCAR has this one this is the first incident. I mean, I'm sure there's been other racist incidents at NASCAR, but this is the first one I've heard about. And they dealt with it immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like, the NFL, they don't deal with anything. Like, they really don't listen to their players. And it's kind of sad that, like, because I like watching football, bro. Like, that's the number one sport in the country right now. It has been for a long time. And for them to not really be taking the steps of action after multiple, like, racist things happen to their players, or, just in general, like, the situation with the Richie Cognito, whatever that dude was, playing in Miami. You feel me? A racist lineman still in the NFL.
Mm.
If now to my knowledge, if that happened in NASCAR, he might be out the league. So
Yeah.
I'm it's crazy to think about them because I never thought about going to a race for real, but I might be tempted to go to a race now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Just to support it because they supporting us, man. And I feel like they understand that. Like, hey, man, we got to support the ones that that are disenfranchised right now, and I definitely applaud them. And hats off to NASCAR. We'll definitely keep our eyes on it and see what they do in the future. With pushing, like I said, pushing for inclusion in the sports and just pushing the brand for it as a whole. But just the last topic, man, before we get out of here, man, and I put this on here just because I got into an argument with a guy recently, and I ain't gonna say the point. I ain't gonna give up who I think it is, but who do y'all think will have a better career, either Zion or Ja Morant? And I'm gonna start it off with Fredo, man. Who you think will have a better career?
I want to say I think both of their careers are going to be great. Like no matter what.
Hot take. No, we can't do that. Hot take, man. We can't do that.
However, if I had to choose, if y'all are making me choose, I would say,
yeah.
I want to say Zion, just because like everybody wants it to be Zion. Like right now, he's still like really rusty. We haven't seen the final form yet. Whereas Ja Morant, even though he's still rusty too, he came in more polished. So we already can, like, I feel like he has a lower window than Zion. Like with Zion, he still has so much that he can grow and do with his body. He's a bigger guard. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. So I would say that Zion is going to have the better career.
Kyle,
that's my nigga.
Man, Kyle, let me get you in on this, man. I thought you was going another way, man. We seen Morant hoop, man. That was a game we went to together.
Yeah, that whole game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get my hot take. I'm going Zion, man. Me personally, I actually had the chance to meet Zion in person, and when I tell you this dude looks like a D end, like legit 290, 6'8", 6'7". The fact that man is jumping 45-inch vert, I'm saying doing the things he can do, he's a different level athlete. And I saw him, I was like, you just saw him in clothes. I know he had on a coat when I saw him. He looked like a fat dude, to be honest, like a big guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, so like the fact that he has the ability that he does, I feel like his potential is, man, out of this world. I feel like he should, like his motor, second jump. You know what I'm saying? His will to win. I feel like he has a high IQ. The way he reads, you know what I'm saying? You put him with I feel like him and Lonzo are great. You know what I'm saying? Right now, that's a great tandem. It was perfect for Lonzo too.
Lonzo, Ingram.
I feel like Ingram. I feel like they have something brewing down there in New Orleans. So, I like his setup too. Like down in New Orleans,
with Alvin Gentry.
Right, with Alvin Gentry and the guys.
I'm not mad at that.
So, I personally, I'm a huge fan of Ja too. I feel like his potential is out of this world. Well, if I had to choose one over the other, I'd probably go Zion just because of those, you know what I'm saying, different level attributes that I've never seen before. Man,
Nate, I'm gonna let you wrap us up on this, but I'm gonna go real quick.
Right, look, man, I'm gonna
I'm gonna go, then I'm gonna let you wrap us up.
All right, bet.
Y'all niggas tripping. Nigga, I'm going with Ja Morant, bro. I just feel like he showed off rip that he's a leader and he could lead a team. You feel me? Memphis, and this was before the trade. They was already in the playoff contentions. You feel me? And it wasn't like they just had a all-star team or had good talent around them or anything like that. It was just him being the man he was and putting his head down and pushing the team forward and just striving for greatness every day. And Zion, he do got I guess the ceiling is high, but I feel like Ja Morant has a higher ceiling. I feel like he didn't even really, of course Zion haven't either, but Ja Morant, of course, like most definitely hasn't tapped into his full potential as, you know what I'm saying, and reached the levels and of what his game could be, bro, because he hasn't even became like just a deadly shooter, which I know he can be. You feel me? And this is Zion. He's good. Like but it's a lot that goes into what Zion does, bro. Like I said, this is off of a high school knee surgery, a college knee surgery, a summer league knee surgery. You feel me? And I'm never wish injury on him because he's one of them guys I definitely want to see hoop for the next 15, 20 years. But I just think Ja has, he's more durable and has a higher ceiling than Zion right now. You feel me? But Nate, just wrap us up on this, man. Who you going with? You going with Zion or Ja?
Look, man, before I say my pick, I'm gonna say all of y'all said some good points because, like what you said with injury history, is very true. Zion, coming off the knees and the way he jumps and his weight, that is a potential problem. And I like what Kot said too about. But I think what Kot said about Zion, his will to win, his competitiveness, his grit, his fire, his leadership. I think all that can be said about Ja Morant, which makes sense because they're bros. You know what I'm saying? They grew up together. They play AAU together. So I think it really is just a question on like talent and like the state of the modern NBA. And like for me, I think the most important position in the NBA is that 3-4 position. You feel me? So like even though I do think Ja has the potential to be like one of the best players in the game, like Steph. You know what I'm saying? He has the potential to be one of the best players in the game, but same thing goes for Steph. Like we always said Steph had great years, but we never said Steph was the best player in the NBA. But that's because of the way that he can affect the game on both sides. You feel me? Like even during Steph's MVP season, I don't think anybody would ever say he was better than KD or LeBron James. You feel me? Because he can't affect the game on both sides the way that they do. Yeah. Like he's not a rebounder, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the same, Ja's an athlete, but the reason I would have to take Zion, bro, is because like Ja's amazing, but he reminded me of D Rose, like the way he played. And I don't want him to get injured the way, like the injury concerns for him is kind of the same for me for Zion, because he cuts and jumps like the same exact way that D Rose does. So, but what he did with Memphis, that's no slight task. Like him, Jaren Jackson, with a new coach, having them in playoff contention in the West is big time. But what I saw from Zion in his first 11 games, bro, is like, I mean, it was historical numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like for his first 11 games,
said historical numbers.
It was. You feel me? Like, God. For somebody of his height, bro, like he was putting up like 23, and it looked light. You feel me? Like he don't even have a real jumper yet, but it looks serviceable enough. And like. He was bullying grown men. I don't see Ja having that potential ever just because of his frame. But I do see Ja as like a consistent all-star for his career. Like I don't ever see him like maybe after this year I could see him easily battling for an all-star spot, like 10 all-stars plus. You feel me? Yeah. It's really a matter of health. Like if Zion stays healthy, I think you gotta go Zion. Just he can block your 7-footer. He can poster your 7-footer off a drop step. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a nice little handle, but Ja is amazing too. Like I'm a really big Ja fan, like Kai said. So it's a hard decision, bro.
Man, I ain't mad at
on that point, on the point you made, Micah. I mean, I feel like, and for those two guys, it does come down to physical specimens. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine if Zion, I know you talk about his weight and everything. Imagine if he got down to 270, 265. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, I'm thinking a more ideal number would be 40, 50 type shit.
I mean, look, it was reports saying he was 290 at one time. You know,
man,
he
looked
he looked at, when I saw him, he looked all of 290. Like legit,
damn,
like legit. So the fact that he's jumping like that, you know what I mean? Let him lose 20 pounds. You know,
man.
But still, even then, bro, like we didn't sing the story, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, Zion, he looks like a one in a lifetime type athlete. How LeBron was when LeBron was 6'8", 280 in fucking Miami. But shit, like
280 coming out of Duke though.
Yeah, but nigga,
at 19 years old,
look at Jabari Parker, bro. Like Jabari Parker was fucking 6'8", 260.
But the difference is, bro, like ain't Jabari, boy. You know he ain't Jabari.
I'm saying
Jabari was nice.
Yeah,
but just
come on, bro. You can't keep going up with that much and keep coming down with that much.
I agree.
Look, you gotta cut it, bro.
However,
you gotta cut that weight off.
Ja makes a lot of like sharp cuts though, like the exact same cuts that scare me about D Rose. Yeah. So it's like Zion definitely has higher injury concern for me just because of the pure weight. You feel me? Like 280 jumping and running in the NBA, that's got to be terrible for your knee cartilage.
Invert.
You feel me? At 19 years old, like that's got to be bad for your knee cartilage. So if the NBA trainers get him right, he'll be all right. But Ja, man, I really do have high hopes for Ja. Like, I think he can be the best point guard in the NBA at some point.
Yeah.
Like what I've seen from him so far as a rookie, he got the Russell athleticism. He may not be as fast, but he got the bounce for sure. And I think he's a better like pure passer than
bro. Off the drive, bro, off the dribble. That nigga is fast, bro. That nigga took somebody to the hoop so quick. Like, bro, Fredo, you remember what I'm talking about, bro? Like at the game we was at, bro, it was just so he got the ball at the 3-point line, did like a little hezzy, then took off. Like, bro, literally like within seconds he was flushing on the nigga. You feel
He's fast too. But he not the Russell like type explosives as in terms of like ever since Russell came in the league, he was fast and strong. You feel me?
That nigga God slamming shit.
He's not as powerful as Russ though. You know what I'm saying? Like he not like I've seen Ja because when I worked for the Clippers, they actually smacked the Clippers by like 30 and Ja got off. But Ja literally, bro, like his arms can't be no bigger than his cup, bro. And that's no exaggeration. He's 6'3", 170, 175. Like that's
people 30 a night.
Yeah. I agree. That's why I think he's gonna be a multi like 10+ year All-Star. Like I see that in his game. Yeah. But for Zion, it's just like, who's more important on the championship teams? Was it KD or was it Steph? You're gonna have to go with that transcender forward. You feel me? Like
Giannis was a Kyrie.
Exactly. Like Kyrie's elite, but you feel me? You need that forward, bro. Like you need him.
Yeah. But real quick, man, since my brother in the kitchen, man, DC, man, who you got? You got Zion or Ja Morant for the better career, man? Who you going with?
I'm going with Zion.
You going with Zion? Oh my lord, man.
Yeah, man.
But no, man. Any of y'all got anything else though?
Man, I don't know. When y'all trying to go to this NASCAR race, bro? I'm trying to go to
man, I Bubba Wallace jersey on.
On me, I need the Bubba Wallace NASCAR puffer. That's gonna be crazy.
Niggas pulling up to the Daytona 500.
Yeah, I'm with it, bro. Let's do it.
We out there in Florida with it. But no, man, like I said, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in with us, man, today, man. And I appreciate my brothers tapping in with me today, man. I appreciate y'all for sure. Man, let me pay the bills again, man. Small businesses, big businesses. If you want to take your business to the next level, make sure you go check out the Grind magazine, man. They could build a marketing campaign for your company from the ground up, and they could put you in front of the culture the right way you need to be, man. And also shout out to TOV Sports, man. This whole production was brought to you by them. For you, by us. You feel me? It's kind of like a food lifestyle right now that we living at. You feel me? Like, but no, man. Also, shout out to National Sports Chat, man. You can find us over there. We dropping new sports content every day, man. All type of engaging content. We on YouTube, with it, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, shit everywhere, man. Stitcher, Breaker, all that, bro. We everywhere with it. And make sure you go over there and follow the podcast page at Micah&Friends. On IG, man. Make sure you get at us over there. Make sure you follow these guys on IG, man. We gonna have their names in the description below. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you follow them. Show them some love over there, man. And I don't got nothing else, man. Y'all got anything else after that?
Nah, bro. Y'all be safe, man. Facts. Be safe,
man.
Man, for sure. We being smooth, man. And, hey, I ain't even gonna lie. Niggas scared out here, man. These niggas are scared out here. Niggas ain't even want to hoop with me and Fredo, man. Niggas trying to bully niggas to hoop. Niggas ain't even trying to buzz, man. Niggas out here acting scary. But
Fredo, we go once in this whole thing, bro. I don't only hoop once, and it's been a 3-on-3.
Man, I've been trying to hoop circles. Ain't shit popping in DC, man.
And I don't want to see what I look like hooping right now. But also shout out to Hoop Nation ATL, man. It's a gym out here. We was out there yesterday for their open run, man. They have a WNBA run, and they have not just WNBA, but D1 women's players, D2 women's players, high school prospect run. Then they have an NBA run or D1 run, D2 run, men's basketball, all that. Make sure you go over there and check them out. Hold on.
Live streaming every Wednesday.
Yeah, and make sure you go check them out for sure over there. They on the south side of Atlanta, providing a good service to people on that side. I mean, a lot of people ain't never had that experience to seeing hoop players, especially on the professional level, just being in there doing an open run. They had Dwight Howard in there yesterday, and they had a lot of WNBA players in there. Tiffany Hayes. It was a couple more. I forgot the names, but make sure you go over there and check them out, and go to TOV Sports on YouTube, because they'll be doing a live production every Wednesday from 2 to almost 6. You feel me? So you could watch endless runs, and shit, you'll probably see some of your favorite athletes in there, man. Trae Young, anything going on out there. But no, though, like I said, man, definitely appreciate you all for tuning in, man. Make sure y'all follow us, like, comment, subscribe everywhere. National Sports Chat, Micah and Friends podcast. We up out of here, man. We checking in, checking out. Yes.